Peace and blessings, family. Sister Ajali. This is my, it's a response, but it's not really a response to Mad Black TV's share that he did about Jody Turner Smith divorcing Joshua Jackson, I think his name is. I don't know. I don't care. But I do care about how the owners of all media are using their bully pulpit to bully us into insanity. I do care about that. So you have a large contingent of black men and black women who are looking towards white people with a magical hope and a prayer concept of what white people are, and the reality that's right in their faces is impossible for them to see. There is a spiritual beguilement that has more to do physically, scientifically with falling. But when your spirit's falling, it's a complete, total collapse that affects everything that you live. And so what I understand about Jody Smith, I will keep wanting to say Jodie Foster, but that's the other actress, but Jody Turner Smith, is that she asked for the divorce, and it was because the dude, Joshua, would experience dark moods out in public in front of folks. He was very outgoing, friendly, but behind the scenes back home, they say that he would take his characterizations, because he's an actor from Dawson's Creek and he was on some other show that I don't watch these things, that he would take the characters home. But I don't fall for that sort of nonsense. As I originally assessed, white people who marry black people are not well. They are not mentally competent enough to even have self-love, because self-love means you want to see more of yourself. Now, for white people in general, having self-love, they always make it almost impossible for them. And I would say pretty much it is impossible, because you can't love yourself unless you're lovable. And that's why we see many of them. That's one aspect of why we see many of them really falling apart. And so for her to have been that beguiled by their media programming, that according to Brother Mad Black, she asked him to marry her. I'm like, what? She is that brain dead that she doesn't understand. You're just another body, even as a woman. What's my hair doing over here? I gotta curl up my hair, and so I tried to do this sort of thing with it. But anyway, moving right along. And she doesn't understand that you're just another body, and this particular person, this male that she asked to marry her, he obviously is dealing with an inability to separate the fantasies in his head from the reality that is just smacking everybody in the face all the time. And there are rumors that he might be homosexual. I don't know. When it comes to white men, first off, white people in general, I can't say that, but physiology, you want to say that as a word, but it's more of a soulology wise. They are closer to the metaphysical pull of dark matter, the nothing, and I don't want to call it dark matter because dark matter is actually melanin, it's everything, but the nothingness, antimatter. So that is due to their lack of melanin-centered solidity, where we got to divorce ourselves from the idea that science means there is no creator. There's science because there is a creator. And owing to that, the soul is real. It is that primordial, that original energy from whence you were formed into his creation of existence. However, before that forming, you don't have control over a daggone thing. It was antimatter, it was chaos. Well, white people, they weren't directly formed by the hand of the Most High, so that they were pivoted 100% on the path of righteousness. That doesn't mean that black you and me can't heavily be veered off, heavily fooled off, because we are not the Most High. But for white people, they actually feel the chaos inside. There's that darkness that they're often talking about, that compels them to not be able to control their impulse thoughts. So when it comes to white males and homosexuality, it's not that homosexuality is natural, it's just that their call to impulsive yearnings really for them feels irresistible. That's no excuse. That's no excuse for tearing apart society. They know the difference between right and wrong. They've just been using us as, beards in order to feel a little bit alleviated, but their just depressions keep circling and pulling them in into justifying the chaotic thinking that comes with hearing the nothingness. They're using us to try to, make themselves feel better, but nothing can make you feel better in the chaos. It's having no existence, no parameters, no anything. It is agony. It's absolute. Every single electrical force that has ever existed in the past, present, and in the future, and then put that to just shooting through your whole, not just your body, but your spirit. That is the pain and the agony of antimatter. Now, given all of that, with Jodie Foster, of course, I don't expect, that's a whole lot of metaphysical analysis. But in general, to ask a man to marry you, no matter what race you are and what race he is, goes against reality, which is something that we can all be prone to. But for swirlers, they're so spiritually addicted to our oppressors that they will actually, it's like, wasn't Neely Fuller who said it, but a black historian who said that, when it comes to the person who's addicted to white folks, if you brick up the front door, that keeps them going to white people, they'll actually drill a whole nother door in the side because they don't know how to exist without them in charge. They don't trust us, and a lot of us can have that sort of doubt too. And so that is the mindset that has been promoted in the society. And pink folks are in heavy rotation of new stereotypes about us in order to further their comfort, which will never happen with all of their sins. And so for Jodie to have asked this dude to marry her, and I understand she also slept with him, within meeting him, says that, duh, of course you didn't know that he had heavy mood swings, my phone. Of course you didn't know any of that. You didn't take any time to get to know him. That's why submitting to the one and the only is extremely, just absolutely critical to forming healthier relationships. Now, people have this expectation that the creator is supposed to provide this whole perfection. But when you look at the world around you, once again, reality, there is no, our concept of what perfect is very, very limited. However, looking at reality, you have to acknowledge men are men, women are women. There's nothing wrong with that. Men leave mom. They're not supposed to seek a second mom. And thereby any man who would feel comfortable being proposed to is just cuckolded to this devil-run macro society. That is somebody who's already lost at the outset and is going to be prone to depression and possibly prone to being homosexual, and thereby he maybe be in a fight against these emotions and these feelings, because first off, he's white, he's closer to the nothingness, so he hears the chaos in his head and he takes it as sacrosanct. If I feel it, it must be. No. That's why the Most High gives us rules, he gives us guidances, he gives us commands, so that we know it's not, like Brother True Seeker 24 was in a comment said that they want us to get this idea. It's all about love. It's all about love. Love is not a feeling. It's your duty. It's what actions you participate in day by day so that you can be a force for perpetuation of your people, and for us, of our people. And thereby asking a white dude to marry you with the history that these people have towards us, I just wonder, in those dark moods, what was he saying to her? We know, because we've seen the videotapes of, them getting cussed out, not only by their mate, but by their in-laws too. And then the children wind up being given to the white people because the courts are run by them. And then they're around folks who felt perfectly comfortable calling their mother, their black mother, or their black father every single stereotypical cuss word that white people ever invented. And you don't think that that's some sort of a problem. So that's why I call it, it's a booty call marriage. That's why he had her up there on the balcony totally naked, because that's not his woman. Right, and whatever mindset he may be in, for him, no woman may be his woman. So he would sell out anybody, but it's definitely presenting her like she's chattel, up on the slave auction block, and you could all inspect her. That's not a man who's pondering our place in history, so that we need dignity. We don't need prostitutioning. And for her to be up there smiling, I saw that and I was like, should I even talk about it? I was like, no, because what about black on black crime? I say, what about white on white war? Where they're just in such a free fall to hide that they have killed the Pacific Ocean with Fukushima radiation, and they are putting it on all our plates. Leave the damn sea moss and the rice, if you don't know where it was grown, alone. They're trying to hide that. When you kill oceans, that is gigantic. A glowing bioluminescent ocean only on the Pacific? That's radiation. That's not just pollution, because pollution's everywhere. That's not some microplastics. That's what they like to accuse everything. Where is it on this planet that they're on plastic bags, but you don't see those waters glowing? Okay? And so these folks are out of control for swirlers and bedbugs not to notice that. I mean, I've just been looking at bunches of stuff about them and their anorexia. Right now, they're actually sniffing what did they call it? That tanning spray, because they think it'll give them more melanin. If you ain't got the physiology, extra melanin ain't gonna work. And they're still giving their children melatonin pills, even though it's been proven hazardous to their health. These are not the people you want to be hooking up with, okay? I don't care what the economy does, it will never get the approval of the one and only, as long as it's run by the devil himself, okay? So build up our economy. Circulate that dollar around where the real head of real civilization exists. That's what Black you and me. All right? All right. I wish everybody the best. I want a real diverse planet, but one that's sustainable, not one that's just a lie where we're all supposed to mosh up together in one human race. But you notice the soulless elites, they ain't hooking up with all of us, all right? They're staying just as white because they're delusional. I'm not saying that they shouldn't. They should stay white. Please stay white, all right? Please. And you're not white. You're actually pink. Please stay pink, all right? But at the same time, as long as they're in charge, they're going to seek to remain in charge of what they've built, which is hell. But we're tearing it down so it can be the heaven that the one and only planned on long, long before we ever created them. All right? All right. I hope that makes sense. I love you, family. Go to 25,000 Year Cycle and get your heal on. Peace and blessings. Mwah. I'll see you in, I don't know, like a week. All right? Peace.